Stone Squads? Another episode here, graphing linear inequalities. So the difference between equations and inequalities is inequalities, and now we're talking about a group. So we're talking about less than, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to. A lot of kids struggle with figuring out which one is which. Depends on how you read it. If you read it left to right, this is less than, is greater than, and this is less than equal to, because of the equal sign, is greater than equal to. So it's important to understand this because it's going to change the way we graph, especially when we're graphing today. I try to think of the alligator. We learn this in elementary school where we have the alligator. The alligator likes to eat the bigger number. So it's going to eat the bigger number, so that means this side is going to be less than that number. So if I have like 2 and then 6, you want to say 2 is less than 6, so the alligator sign has to be eating a 6. So it's less than, so 2 is less than 6. So that's important. All right, equal to is also important as well. We're going to talk about those guys right now. Let's take an example. If I tell you graph x is greater than equal to 2, then right now we have a number line, because we're not using variables, we're just using 1. So we just pretty much have to plot 2, start with 2. Because it's greater than or equal to means it's going to be a closed dot. Closed dot indicates that we're actually including the value 2. If it was just greater than 2, I always ask my students, what is a number greater than 2? And they say 3. But that's true, but that's not the smallest, greatest value greater than 2. It's actually, 2.00000001. That's also a smaller number than 3, but greater than 2. So what we have to do is we're including it. So we're going to shade this way, because this just means a set. So a group of numbers that are greater than or equal to 2, any of these numbers to the right is going to be a solution. That's the difference between an inequality versus an equation. Equation is just one answer. It's either 2, 3, 4, or 5, or whatever number. Inequality means a group, something that's greater than or less than any of this group. So in this case, any values from 2 to positive infinity is a solution. If I change this just to that, just greater than, now we have to use an open dot. Open dot indicates that it is not including 2, but anything greater than that. Alright, so anything greater than 2 is a solution. Okay, let's try an equation though. What happens if we have something like this? X plus 3 is less than 4, and I ask you, is 3 a solution? Is 3 a solution? That's the question. So what we have to do is plug in 3 and see if it works. What you can actually do is solve for x. So how do you solve for x? We actually treat it just like how we treat just regular equations. Our goal is to get the x by itself. So x is less than 1. So then you can ask yourself, anything less than 1 is a solution. So you can ask yourself, is 3 a solution then? So if I graph this, I have 1 here, open dot, less than. So anything less than 1 is a solution, but they're asking, is 3 a solution? It is not, because it's not within this parameter. Alright, another way you could have done this problem was just plug in 3 for x. So you could have said, is 3 plus 3 less than 4? So you have 6 is less than 4. That is not true. 6 is not less than 4, therefore it is not a solution. Alright, so let's kind of recap that. So if I'm giving an equation, an inequality, and I ask you, is something a solution? All you have to do is plug it in. This is important because I taught you guys how to check your answers. This is how you check your answers. Once you have an answer, all you have to do is plug it in to see if it actually works. So is it true with the less than, greater than, less than, equal to, or greater than, equal to sign? So that concludes our lesson for graphing linear inequalities. We're going to take 3 examples, our beginner, intermediate, and advanced level. So let's get ready for that. Good job. Alright, let's get this started. Our beginner problem. I want you to graph, let's make it really simple. X is greater than -3. Is x greater than -3? Let's take a look. I'm gonna give about 30 seconds to a minute. Just do a number line. All I want to see is a number line. Eventually, when we start talking about graphs, linear inequalities and quadratic inequalities, we're gonna start graphing and then shading. So we're gonna get ready for that. So try your best and give about 30 seconds to a minute and go. Alright, let's take a look. So where is -3? We'll just put -3 in the middle. I like to do that. I don't like to start at 0 and then work my way left and right. But I know -3 is here. What does this sign mean? The alligator sign is eating the bigger number, so it's eating the x. So that means x is greater than -3. Is x greater than -3? Where is that? Well, here's open dot. That's the first important thing. Open dot and closed dot. It's an open dot. It's not including -3. And then we're going to go greater than that. So what's a number greater than -3? 0. 0 is greater than -3. Where is 0? 0 is here. So we're going to shade this way. So anything greater than -3 is a solution. So anything from -3 to infinity is a solution. So if I told you, give me 5 points, that makes this true, then you can choose any of those values greater than -3. Alright, but not including -3. Okay, our intermediate problem. Let's take your intermediate problem. If I give you this problem, and I ask you is -4 a solution? We tried this at practice problems, so look at your notes if needed. I'm going to be about 30 seconds to a minute. Tell me if it's true and why. Why is it true? That's always an important question we always need to ask. So I'm going to give about 30 seconds to a minute. Go. Alright, let's see. There's a couple ways. Remember, we did this 2 ways. We can actually solve. So we can add 3 to both sides. Because -3 plus 3 is 0. That's what we want. So we get 8. So anything less than 8 is a solution. Is -4 a solution then? Yes. Or we can grab that. Here's 8. Anything less than. The alligator is eating the bigger number, the 8, so the x has to be smaller than that. So any number smaller will be a solution. So 7, 6, 5, 4, all the way to -infinity would be a solution. So yes, -4 is technically here. So it is part of that shaded area, shaded region, so it is a solution. Alright, another way you could have done this was what? Plug it in. So we could plug it in for x. So is -4 minus 3 less than 5? Yes, because -7 is less than 5, so that's true. -7 is smaller than 5. So always try to read your answers left to right. It is important. I like to always put the variables on the left side so it's easier to read left to right. Alright, check your answers. Last one. Our advanced problem. Let's say I give you a graph. And say this is 1. Give you that. I want you to write the equation for this. How do you make this true? So I'm going to give about 30 seconds to a minute. Try your best if you did not go over this on your notes, but if you understand the concepts, this should make sense. So I'm going to give about 30 seconds to a minute. Go. Alright, let's take a look. So what do we notice? It's open dot at 1. So what does that mean? It has to be greater than or equal to. It can't be equal to. It's either greater than or less than. It can't be equal to. And it has to be going right, so it has to be greater than. So x greater than, not equal to, because open dot, where are we at? 1. So anything works. Anything greater than 1 is a solution. So let's kind of recap this. I know this lesson wasn't too difficult, but I did want to go over this important concept. So less than, greater than is what? Open dot. Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to is going to be what? Closed dot. So it's going to be, so it's going to include it. And then the alligator sign is eating the bigger number. So in this case, this is x is greater than this side. Alright, and then we just shade whichever region we're talking about. The difference between inequalities and an equation is what? Inequality is a vast number of different values, answers, you have a lot of solutions, versus an equation which is just one answer. So for example, x equals 1 just means you have one answer. So that concludes our lesson with graphing linear inequalities. I hope this video is helpful. Please turn on your notifications, please subscribe to my channel, and let's get ready for some more videos.